Hi students, welcome to the video lecture 5 of heat exchanger. So in the today's class we will study the effectiveness NTU method for heat exchanger analysis. So we are studying this effectiveness NTU method both for parallel flow heat exchanger and the counter flow heat exchanger. So in the previous classes we have derived the equations for LMTD both for parallel flow and counter flow heat exchanger. So in the problems, when all the four end temperatures, that is TH1, TH2, TC1 and TC2, the inlet and outlet temperatures of the hot fluid, that and then inlet and outlet temperatures of the cold fluid, that is when all the four end temperatures are given, then the heat transfer can be easily calculated by the equation Q is equals to U into A into LMTD. But there are certain problems in which both the hot fluid and the cold fluids exit temperatures are not given. Only inlet temperatures of hot fluid and the cold fluids are given along with their mass flow rates, along with overall heat transfer coefficient. So such problems solving by the LMTD method, it becomes very difficult to solve the problems. So when the end temperatures, that is exit temperatures of both hot fluid and the cold fluid are not given, so such problems are solved by using the effectiveness NTU method. So before deriving the expressions for the effectiveness NTU method, both for parallel flow and counter flow heat exchanger, so let us define some quantities. So first we will define effectiveness of the heat exchanger, which is denoted by this symbol epsilon. This effectiveness of the heat exchanger is given by the formula Q divided by Q of maximum, where Q indicates actual heat transfer in the heat exchanger and Q maximum, it indicates maximum possible heat transfer in the heat exchanger. Already I have written here. Now how will write actual heat transferred in the heat exchanger, where Q is given by mH into Cph in the bracket TH1 plus TH2. This is for hot fluid, where Q is equals to mc into Cpc in the bracket Tc2 minus Tc1. This equation is for cold fluid, that is actual heat transferred in the heat exchanger. Now the same equation I will write in this form, where Q is equals to this mH into Cph is replaced by Ch, where Ch indicates capacity rate of the hot fluid. This Ch is nothing but mH into Cph only. The product of mass flow rate and the specific heat of the hot fluid is given by Ch, where Ch indicates capacity rate of the hot fluid. Similarly, this equation where Q is equals to mc into Cpc is replaced by Cc in the bracket Tc2 minus Tc1. Equation remains as it is, where Cc indicates capacity rate of the cold fluid. Cc is nothing but the product of mass flow rate of the cold fluid and specific heat of the cold fluid. Now next, so after calculating the values of this Ch and Cc values, Ch, that is Ch is given by mH into Cph, we are going to calculate one value. Suppose, and here we are going to calculate the value of Cc as mc into Cpc. So after calculating both these values Ch and Cc, the value of this Ch is lesser than the value of Cc. Suppose if the value of Ch after calculating it is 1000 and the value of Cc is 1200, then definitely this Ch value is lesser than the value of Cc. then in such condition we designate CH as C minimum, is minimum capacity rate of the hot fluid. If one fluid is C minimum, then definitely the other fluid will be C maximum. Then we designate the CC as C maximum. Suppose in the next case, if the value of CH is only 1200 and the value of CC is 1000, then it indicates CH is greater than CC. In such condition, we designate CC as C minimum, then definitely the other fluid CH will be C maximum. This indicates C minimum indicates minimum capacity rate of the hot fluid. C maximum indicates maximum capacity rate of the cold fluid. So it depends on the condition, the value. Which value is less value than that capacity rate of hot fluid, we are that capacity rate we are calling it as the C minimum, and which value is maximum, that we are considering it as the maximum capacity rate of the fluid. So next we will define this term capacity ratio, which is denoted by the symbol C. This capacity ratio is given by the ratio of C minimum divided by C maximum. So this C minimum, it may be either CH or it may be CC. We don't know. It depends on the condition of the problem. Where capacity ratio C is given by C minimum divided by C maximum. So next we'll define the term NTU, where NTU, the long form of this NTU is number of transfer units. Number of transfer units, which is given by the formula U into A divided by C minimum, where U is overall heat transfer coefficient, A is the area of heat transfer, and C minimum is the minimum capacity rate of the fluid, whether it may be a CH or whether it may be a CC also. And NTU, it is a measure of the area of the heat exchanger, or it measures by this NTU, we are going to measure the size of the heat exchanger. So now we will study in the ratio, in the formula we have defined effectiveness of the heat exchanger is given by Q divided by Q maximum. So in the we have studied what is how to calculate Q. So now let us study how to calculate this maximum possible heat transfer in the heat exchanger, where HE indicates heat exchanger. In the short form I have written it as HE. So now if let us consider a heat exchanger where this hot fluid is cooled from a temperature TH1 to TH2 in the heat exchanger. The hot fluid, its temperature will be maximum at TH1, and after transferring heat to the cold fluid, its temperature will be TH2. That is, hot fluid is cooled from a temperature TH1 to TH2. At the same time, the cold fluid is heated from the temperature TC1 to TC2, because it is extracting heat from it. This hot fluid, it is giving heat to this fluid. So definitely the temperature of this cold fluid increases from TC1 to TC2, whereas the temperature of this hot fluid, it decreases from TH1 to TH2. Now with this easily we can tell that the maximum temperature differential in the heat exchanger will be TH1 minus TC1. So in the heat exchanger, if the heat exchanger had an infinite area, then the hot fluid will be cooled from TH1 to TC1. If the heat exchanger had an infinite area, then this temperature is going to cool from TH1 to TC1. Similarly, the cold fluid may be heated from temperature TC1 to TH1. Now, which fluid will experience the maximum temperature differential in the heat exchanger? It depends on the condition, that is which fluid will be having the minimum capacity rate. So this is the maximum temperature differential in the heat exchanger, that is TH1 minus TC1. So other than this we cannot write the maximum temperature differential. So this is the highest temperature differential in the heat exchanger, that is TH1 minus TC1. So you can observe here TH1 is the highest temperature of the hot fluid. From TH1 only it is going to decrease to TH2, whereas TC1 is the minimum temperature of the cold fluid. From TC1 it is increasing to TC2. For that purpose I have written here maximum temperature differential in the heat exchanger is given by TH1 minus TC1. Now we'll write the value of this maximum, Q maximum possible heat transfer in the heat exchanger. Suppose after calculating the values of CH and CC values, if the hot fluid has the minimum capacity rate, that is CH value is lesser than the value of CC, then we designate this CH as C minimum. Then we are going to write here Q maximum is equals to CH into TH1 minus TC1. So this term will be fixed, where Q maximum is given by CH into TH minus TC1 when this CH value is lesser than the CC value. Suppose if this CH value is only greater than this value of CC, then we will write this Q maximum will be equals to C of C into TH1 minus TC1. So here if the value of CH is greater than CC, then this CC capacity rate of cold fluid becomes the minimum, then this CH becomes maximum. But here Q maximum, that is maximum possible heat transfer in the heat exchanger, is given by formula CC in the bracket TH1 minus TC1 if the cold fluid has the minimum capacity rate. Suppose if the hot fluid has the minimum capacity rate, then Q maximum is given by CH in the bracket TH1 minus TC1. I think hope you have understood it. Now we can write the equations for the effectiveness of the heat exchanger. Already we have written here. This effectiveness is given by Q divided by Q maximum, where Q is given by CH into TH1 minus TH2 divided by C minimum of TH1 minus TC1. This will be equals to CC of TH2 minus TC1 divided by C minimum of TH1 minus TC1. So in the above equations, if the value of CH is less than the value of CC, then this effectiveness of the heat exchanger is given by TH1 minus TH2 divided by TH1 minus TC1. Because CH is less than the CC, then we are considering this CH as C minimum value. When we consider this CH as C minimum value, this C minimum both gets cancels. So my final expression will be in this form if the hot fluid has the minimum fluid. Now if the cold fluid is the minimum fluid, here if the value of CH is greater than the value of CC, then here we are considering CC as the C minimum value. Then here if I will substitute CC as C minimum gets cancels. Then effectiveness of the heat exchanger is given by TC2 minus TC1 divided by TH1 minus TC1. I think hope you have understood this equation.